I swear, every week I have less and less time, and more things seem to go wrong to complicate matters. And I apologize because it probably shows in the quality of the videos. Okay, I am probably not going to have a video on Friday because we're going away for the weekend, and I'm not getting back until late Monday, so you almost certainly won't have a video from me on Tuesday. And yeah, so it's going to be 2 weeks before you see another video from me, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Maybe by then I will find a way to have more time. Maybe I won't be working until 9 o'clock every night. That's unlikely. Yeah. So anyway, here are the folks that did video responses for last week's Top 3 Tuesday, if I can pull it up here. Wilgram13, The Danish Ninja, which is an awesome name. Kit171, Cybersnake7, that name that I still can't pronounce even after hearing you pronounce it in your videos a couple of times. Legiaraseru, I don't know, Legaiaraseru. I can say the letters faster than I can pronounce it. Every Snake's Dream 22, Michael B. the Game Genie, Thrift Dweller, Marlon Lee, Electric Adventures, Old School Brian, Sega and More, Evil Nod 6, Mr. Dude 206, Dumber Cool Stuff, Christy O'Connell 311, I64X, Andrew's Game Display, X Game Storm X, X1 IC1X. There's a lot of X's here. Classic Game Hunter, Allmew 2011, Hoppy Hob, Stang 2712 Gaming, Jezbo Vision, Heather Mason 76, and there's one that's not listed on here, but I believe that Cynical Enigma did a video response. Thank you very much to all of you who did video responses. Classic Metal Fan 22 and I both appreciate it, I'm sure. Now, this week proved particularly difficult to get a Top 3 Tuesday together because, like I said, all week last week I worked until 9 o'clock. I'm working late every night this week, and then the very kind gentleman that is providing the Top 3 Tuesday this week had to go back and do some re-edits to his Top 3 Tuesday video for various reasons, and yeah, that made time even shorter for both of us. So it's going to not be up. I don't think it's going to be up anyway. Tuesday night. It'll probably be up Wednesday early in the morning. However, the video is fantastic, and I think it is a good representation of the sort of thing that you will see on his channel. He's a fantastic guy. He has great videos, and I'm not going to tell you what his name is because I'm going to let him introduce himself. So here is this week's Top 3 Tuesday.
What the hell channel am I on right now? Welcome to EDT 1138's or Ed's Top 3 Tuesday. I am honored to be a participant in Ed's Top 3 Tuesday. It's a brilliant format, and I'm definitely honored to be a part of it, so thank you for that. And let's get to it! In honor of the release of the long-awaited Prometheus by Ridley Scott, this Top 3 Tuesday is dedicated to games or video games that have aliens featured in it. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be aliens from the film series, which are awesome, but it could be any alien, including Alf for the Sega Master System. Those of you who've played that game, it's actually pretty horrendous, so you probably wouldn't put Alf as your top 3, but just to give you an example, they don't even have to be biological, they just have to be alien to us. Alright, but the rules are simple. There must be a semblance of humans or humanoid or earth dwellers or something like that in the video game. So for example, Metroid, which is an excellent game with a plethora of aliens in it, features a very sexy female protagonist named Samus, or Samus, or however the hell you pronounce that. I think it's Samus, but so you know, that would be a great example, for instance. So without further ado, these are my top 3. Number 3 for me is a lesser known game for the Geni, or the Sega Genesis for you regular people out there, called Target Earth. Now, before I even get started, Target Earth might be the most difficult game to ever be released for a home console. But that being said, the difficulty in that game does not detract from the detailed graphics, the ridiculous and classic 16-bit synthesized soundtrack, and the heart-wrenching story. Yeah, now I realize that this game doesn't look like it would have a heart-wrenching story, but it does, believe me. But let me give you a little bit of information or a little background about the game without any spoilers. Basically, the Kron, which are the bad guys, they're bombarding Ganymede, which is Earth's outermost base, and they look to be headed towards Earth to invade. And you play as Rex, who basically controls a giant assault suit with a multitude of weapons, and you are attempting to fight back against Kron. Now, you need to really check this game out. The graphics and the music are incredible, and the storyline is underrated at best. But do yourself a favor. After you get destroyed by the difficulty, hit the start button on the second controller one time, and then replay the game. You'll thank me later. Yeah, I know, it's cliched, but come on. It's one of the greatest games to ever be released, and it features a whole crap ton of aliens. And the sequels are almost as good. But Contra has all the elements of retro goodness, side-scrolling, platforming, and of course excellent graphics and amazing music. And many of the attacking aliens are actually representations of Geiger's aliens from the movie. So that's a great thing in itself. And there really isn't much more to say that hasn't already been said about this classic, so I'll volunteer this. I never came close to beating the game without the 30 lives cheat. Number 1 is an absolute classic in my eyes, and it was released before the atrocity director Paul W.S. Anderson commandeered in 2004. And it is the 1999 PC release of Aliens vs. Predator. Wow, was that game impressive for its time. I mean, the graphics were excellent, the sound effects down to the pulse rifle and the smart gun, to the Predator changing from the heat-seeking view to normal vision. All those sound effects were dead on, straight from the movies. Impressive stuff. And playing as the Colonial Marine was crap in your pants inducing.
Access granted.
It was a proper release, unlike the movie. And you know, it was proper for even the impressive for its time Alien vs. Predator for the Jaguar. All three species converge on LV-426, or Fury 161 from Alien 3, or a spaceship similar to the Sulaco from Aliens, or the Derelict from Alien. Basically, all of these are in this video game, and they're all done perfectly. And I kid you not, being ambushed by a friggin' facehugger never felt so real. You have to try this game out, and you got to remember, for its time, there was nothing like it. It was one of the coolest games that I've ever played, and I remember playing it online. You know, there'd be like 20 people in, you know, a map with like, you know, 5, 6 aliens running around. You would have 5, 6, maybe 10 predators and 8 marines, and it was really cool. Now, I've heard the sequel, AVP2 for the PC, is equally as good, maybe even better. I've never tried it. But what I can tell you is that I did buy Aliens vs. Predator for the PS3, and it's not very good. So it never really fully captured the atmosphere of this game.
Game over, man.
And that concludes my top 3. Thanks to Ed for allowing me to participate, and I cannot wait to read and see some of the responses to everyone's top 3 aliens in video games. See you next time.
Initially, I wasn't going to do my response to this video on here. I was going to post it separately because I wanted to do justice to what he did in his portion of the video, and I didn't think I could do that in the time allotted, but I couldn't change it. You know, this is the way I've been doing it ever since I started, so I'm going to go ahead and do it this way anyway, and I'll just let Mike steal the show. There you go. Now, first, I would pick Life Force for the NES, and this game is the first one I can remember playing where you actually go inside an alien. Now, it's actually common in shooters, particularly Konami shooters, to go and fight a whole bunch of weird aliens, but this one is the first one I can remember actually flying through and blasting apart the alien from the inside. And then if I remember correctly, it's been a little while since I played it, the first stage boss is a brain with a giant eyeball and arms that flail all over the place. It is just, it's got some of the most bizarre aliens for the time, at least the most bizarre aliens that I can remember for the time. Number 2 for me would be Alien Syndrome. Now, I had this when I was a kid, and I've told this story before, but the reason I like this one so much, the reason this one holds so much nostalgia, and I wanted to have it as soon as I got my Sega Master System here a few years ago. Okay, like 12 years ago. 14. 15 years ago. I've had that thing for 15 years. I wonder what happened to the old one. Anyway, the reason I picked this one, well, first of all, it's got some creepy music in it, and the sound that the guy makes when he dies, that sounds like he's being gutted. I fell asleep one night playing this, and I remember I was laying on the floor in the living room, and it actually worked its way into my dreams, the music, because the music just continues to repeat on the start screen, and I had some of the most vivid and terrifying nightmares I've ever had because of this video game, and that has always stuck with me. And even to this day, as simple as the graphics are, as really unscary as it is, I still get creeped out playing this game in the dark because of that. And my top choice is one that I could not find my box or the CDs anywhere. I have no idea what I did with them in the mess down here, but it's StarCraft. And I'll try to remember to put a picture up here somewhere of some kind of alien. But you've got 2 alien races, the Protoss and the Zerg, and then you have the humans. And you can play as any one of the 3 races. And it takes place in these really cool alien worlds, and the Protoss and the Zerg both have a multitude of alien creatures to play. And I don't know, I can't describe it unless you played it before, and if you're not into real-time strategy games, you probably won't like it, but the music, the atmosphere, the aliens themselves, it's just a really cool game, and one of my favorite alien-themed games. I would have also mentioned Alien vs. Predator for the Jaguar, but since Mike answered, or one of Mike's answers was Alien vs. Predator for the computer, the Jaguar doesn't quite stand up to that. I have played that one years ago, and boy is it excellent. Let me tell you, that's a great game. So, there you go. There's my top 3. You've heard Mike's top 3. Please do yourself a favor and go check out his channel. Trust me, his videos are fantastic. He puts a lot of thought and a lot of work into the content on his channel, and it's somebody that I wish I had subscribed to even sooner than I actually did. So, thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe to Mike. I'll see you guys later.